topographic map of an island. This is what it might look like if you were going to go on a hike and you saw a map that looks just like this. Well, right here would be colored in blue all the way around here because that would be the water. It says ocean water right there, as you can see. But all of this is land. Now, this is the outermost zero layer of the land. That means it's 0 feet tall. It's still above ocean level. All the water's below it, but it's at 0. The next number that you see right there is a 30. Then it's a 90. That's the next number you see. So halfway in between 30 and 90 would, of course, be 60. So even though it's not telling us, we can figure out that it goes from 0 to 30 to 60, and I'm assuming this is meters, to 90, and now it would be what, 30 more? So you add that, and this would be 120. But if we go, you see how I draw the straight line from left to right across here. Then it goes back down, right? So it goes from 120 to 90 to, and then this one, remember, is all within the 61, right in the middle there. Goes back to 90, goes back to 120, and then there's one that's 150 over there, and then it goes all the way back down. What we're seeing here is the overhead view, like a bird's eye view of, let's say, a mountain, maybe even a volcano. So that's what it would look like there. But remember, just as you did on Google Maps, where if you saw a volcano from above, you would see how wide it is, but it doesn't tell you how tall it is. But these little circles do tell you how tall it is if you pay attention to them. So what you could do is you can transcribe all this information onto a map right here. So when we see, this is going to be a side view of it, and it's going to look like a mountain when we're done with it. So the way we would want to do this is we start here at 0. And then we're going to gradually draw it up to 30 because that's what happened over here. We started from 0 and it gradually moved up to 30. So that's what we did right there. Now, the reason we're not just going to go straight up is because you wouldn't be able to climb a mountain like that. That wouldn't really make any sense. And because we see that there is a gap right here, it takes some time for it to get from 0 to 30. So that would make sense. We're going to continue on that and go up to 60. We're going to continue. We're going to go up to 90 because that's what we did over here. We go from 0 to 60 to 90. So we're at 90 right here. Everything on that is 90. If we go up one more, we shall go up to 120. Now you might be tempted to say, oh, we just go all the way up to the top, right? Not so fast. Even though it allows us to go to 150, that's not what happens here. Instead, we're at 120 and we go back down to 90, back down to 60. So we look here, we take a 120, we go back down to 90, we go back down to 60. Now that we're here, let's see what we do next. We're here at 60, and it goes back up to 90, back up to 120, and all the way up to 150. So that's what we'll do here. We take this, 90, 120, 150. And then gradually, it goes all the way back down to 0. It would not make sense for us to go just straight down. It would be like falling off a cliff. Instead, we gradually draw it so it goes downward. So it goes down to 120, down to 90, down to 60, two separate peaks right there. If you were a human that was maybe running a mile, let's say, you would just run in a straight row because it would all be flat. So if you're running a mile outside, you just go straight across. There you go. You're not going up and down. The elevation is 0. But if you take a wider view right over here, if you are a human and you need to run 1 mile, but you have all this elevation to cover, think about how much more difficult that would be. You start here in the bottom, climb all the way up this first peak, then descend to the peak, then ascend the next peak, and then go all the way down. Still would be 1 mile, but it would take a lot more effort to do so. So that's how you would complete this assignment right over here. We're going to recreate that on here. So the way I want you to do this is to go up here, and underneath where it says topographic map, there's the button insert. Underneath that, you see that there's the select button, and to the right of that, you see the line button. If you clicked on the line, you can obviously just click and draw a line, but that's not what I want you to do. Instead, what I want you to do is I want you to change it here, and I want you to change it to scribble. Now that we have scribble, you can just kind of free draw whatever you want. So you just kind of click down and hold it and just move all around. You will draw a couple scribbles. You can hit delete, or you could just hit Control Z to undo everything on there to start over. So what we're going to do is we're going to recreate what we just did before. We're starting here at 0. We go all the way up to where it's supposed to be for the first time. We go back down, and we go back up, and then we go all the way back down. Good. And once you have selected that, now you can click off of it here And to do that, you may need to select on the select button there, just to click off of it. Perfect. And now you have your thing here. You can always click on this and change it if you want it to look a little bit, for example, thicker, like the line weight. You can make it like 4 instead of what it was before, just a little bit easier to see. All right, now that we have this, what I want you to do is I want you to hit Control, Shift, and the button right above number 6, and that does a partial screenshot tool. So now I can click and I can drag this here, and I can just copy this, right? I can capture it, and I will save that. Okay, perfect. Now that I have this, I can go to my digital portfolio. You should have copied and pasted slide 29 from mine into yours, or perhaps by the time you're watching, it's a different slide number, but either way, the same thing holds. And we're gonna go to Insert, we're going to go to Image. You can either upload from your computer. Well, actually, that is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to upload from your computer, and then you can find it in your most recent downloads because that's where your screenshot should have gone to. You double click on that. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to simply replace the old image with the new image right here. You can move it to where you need to go and resize it. And now that we have this taken care of, that's all you need to do on this one. This is your image for this slide, and you are done with this slide. So that's all you need to do for this one.